Imagine, a world-renowned fashion icon, meeting his untimely demise on the steps of his opulent mansion in broad daylight. This is the shocking story of Gianni Versace, the luminary designer whose life was abruptly cut short on the morning of July 15, 1997, in the heart of Miami Beach, Florida. Gianni Versace, the man, the myth, the legend, was a titan in the fashion industry. Born in the southern Italian town of Reggio Calabria, he was a visionary who transformed the world of fashion with his daring designs and flamboyant style. Versace's meteoric rise to fame began in the late 70s when he presented his first signature collection. His unique blend of classical art and contemporary pop culture resonated with the public, catapulting him to international stardom. Versace's designs were more than just clothes, they were a statement, a rebellion against the norm. He was the maestro of the unconventional, the harbinger of bold, and the pioneer of the provocative. His influence extended beyond the runway, shaping the very essence of pop culture, music, and art. To say that Versace was just a designer would be an understatement. He was an artist, a revolutionary, and a cultural phenomenon. The news of his assassination sent shockwaves across the globe. It was a tragedy that was felt not only in the fashion world but also in the hearts of millions who admired his work. It was hard to comprehend how such a vibrant life, a life that was a celebration of color, creativity, and charisma, could be extinguished in such a brutal and senseless manner. Versace's death marked the end of an era of audacious creativity and unapologetic glamour. The world mourned the loss of a design virtuoso, a man whose vision transformed the mundane into the magnificent, the ordinary into the extraordinary. His life was a testament to the power of imagination, the beauty of art, and the boundless possibilities of fashion. The world lost a visionary, a genius, a beacon of the fashion industry. The story of Versace's assassination cannot be told without understanding the man behind the trigger. This was Andrew Cunanan, a name that would become infamous in the world of high-profile murders. Born in California in the late 1960s, Cunanan was known for his charismatic personality and was often described as bright and talkative. He was a chameleon in social circles, often fabricating grandiose stories about his life to impress those around him. Cunanan's life took a dark turn in the early 1990s. He began a tumultuous relationship with an older man, his life becoming a whirlwind of lavish parties and high-end living. However, the facade couldn't last forever. When the relationship ended, Cunanan found himself spiraling. His need for the lavish lifestyle he had grown accustomed to led him down a dangerous path. In April of 2023, Cunanan embarked on a horrifying killing spree that spanned across 3 states. His victims ranged from acquaintances to complete strangers, each one a step towards his ultimate target. His first victim was a former naval officer, followed by 2 men he'd recently met. His 4th victim was a prominent real estate developer, and his 5th was a caretaker in a cemetery. Each death was more brutal than the last, and the nation watched in horror as the body count rose. The authorities were baffled. Cunanan was unpredictable, his motives unclear. Some speculated he was settling scores, others thought he was simply trying to fund his extravagant lifestyle. The truth, it seemed, was as elusive as Cunanan himself. Yet, through all the terror and confusion, one thing was clear: Andrew Cunanan was a man on a mission. A mission that would lead him to the steps of the Versace mansion in Miami Beach. A manhunt was underway, but the nightmare was far from over. As the authorities closed in, Cunanan would make one final fateful move, forever linking his name with that of the legendary fashion designer Gianni Versace. July 15, 1997, a day that would forever be etched in the annals of fashion history. This was the day that the world of haute couture was shocked to its core, when Gianni Versace, the flamboyant Italian fashion designer, was assassinated right outside his Miami Beach mansion. That fateful morning, Versace decided to take a leisurely stroll to buy some magazines at his favorite local newsstand. As he returned home, he was met by Andrew Cunanan, a man he had allegedly met once before at a party in San Francisco. Cunanan, who was already on the FBI's 10 most wanted fugitives list for a string of murders across the United States, approached Versace on the steps of his mansion. Without any hesitation or warning, Cunanan fired 2 shots at point-blank range, hitting Versace in the back of the head. The fashion icon fell to the steps of his opulent mansion, his life tragically cut short. Within moments, the tranquil Miami Beach neighborhood transformed into a chaotic crime scene. Sirens wailed as police officers and paramedics rushed to the scene, but it was too late. Gianni Versace was declared dead on arrival at the hospital. The news of his assassination sent shockwaves around the world, leaving the fashion industry and Versace's legion of fans in disbelief and sorrow. Meanwhile, Cunanan, having achieved his grim objective, fled the scene. He discarded his clothes and personal belongings in a nearby houseboat, effectively leaving a trail for the investigators to follow. The manhunt for Cunanan, which was already underway due to his previous crimes, now intensified with the assassination of Versace. In a cruel twist of fate, Versace's world of beauty and glamour was shattered in an instant. The fashion maestro's life was abruptly ended on the steps of his own sanctuary, Casa Casuarina. His assassination marked a dark day in fashion history, a day that the world would remember with a heavy heart for years to come. In the wake of Versace's murder, a frantic manhunt ensued. The assassin, Andrew Cunanan, had vanished without a trace, leaving the authorities baffled and the world in shock. A nationwide search was launched, involving multiple law enforcement agencies. The FBI, the Miami Beach Police Department, and many others worked in overdrive, piecing together Cunanan's movements, his connections, and his possible motives. As the manhunt continued, the public watched with bated breath, a chilling question lingering in the air. Why had Cunanan targeted Versace? Theories abounded. Some suggested a personal vendetta, others a desperate bid for infamy. Yet the truth remained elusive, buried deep within the mind of a man who seemed to revel in the chaos he had created. 8 days after Versace's murder, Cunanan's life came to an abrupt end. His body was discovered on a houseboat, a victim of suicide. He had left no note, no explanation, nothing to shed light on the darkness he had cast over Miami Beach and the fashion world beyond. With Cunanan's death, answers died too, leaving behind a mystery shrouded in darkness. But the story didn't end there. The aftermath of the assassination was a time of grief, confusion, and change. Versace's family, particularly his sister Donatella, had the daunting task of steering the fashion empire through uncharted waters. The fashion industry too was left reeling, grappling with the loss of a titan who had redefined style and glamour. Yet, amidst the turmoil, Versace's legacy lived on. His designs continued to dazzle, his vision continued to inspire. In the face of tragedy, the House of Versace stood resilient, its spirit undimmed. In the end, the manhunt for Cunanan and its aftermath is a testament to the indomitable human spirit. It's a story of resilience in the face of tragedy, a reminder that even in the darkest moments hope can still be found. And it's a story that continues to captivate, a mystery that remains unsolved even today. Despite the tragedy, the House of Versace refused to bow down to despair. In the wake of the unthinkable, the Versace empire found itself at a crossroads. Yet, it was Gianni's sister, Donatella Versace, who stepped up to the task, taking over the reins of the family business. Despite grappling with the loss of her beloved brother, Donatella proved to be a beacon of resilience. She was determined to not only preserve Gianni's legacy, but to build upon it, and she did just that. Donatella's leadership and her unwavering commitment to her family's brand transformed the House of Versace into a global powerhouse. The fashion house continued to push boundaries just as Gianni would have wanted. From iconic gowns gracing red carpets to trend-setting ready-to-wear collections, Versace remained at the forefront of fashion, a testament to Gianni's visionary spirit. Beyond the glitz and glamour of the fashion world, Versace's death sent shockwaves that were felt far and wide. His assassination marked a turning point, a stark reminder of the violence that the LGBTQ+ community faces, even those at the pinnacle of success. Yet, in the face of adversity, Versace's legacy proved to be unshakable. His influence continues to reverberate within the fashion industry and beyond. His daring designs, his unapologetic celebration of sexuality, and his commitment to breaking down barriers are still evident in the fashion world today. Gianni Versace was more than just a designer. He was a pioneer, a trailblazer, and a beacon of creativity. His life was cut tragically short, yet his spirit, his vision, his indelible mark on fashion remains. His creations continue to inspire, to challenge, to evoke emotion, standing as a testament to a life lived fearlessly. Gianni Versace, a name that personifies fashion, continues to inspire and live on through his creations, his legacy undiminished by the tragedy of his death. As we conclude this journey through the life of Gianni Versace, we invite you to remember not just his untimely death, but the legacy he left behind. A legacy that continues to inspire and reshape the world of fashion. It's not just in the bold prints, the daring cuts, or the glimmering accessories that we see Gianni. It's in the spirit of innovation, the daring to be different, the courage to be unapologetically oneself. These are the hallmarks of Versace's enduring influence. This is the essence of Gianni Versace, a man who dared to dream, to defy, and to dazzle. A creative genius whose life was tragically cut short, but whose vision continues to illuminate the path for many. As we remember Gianni Versace, let's not forget the lessons he taught us: to be bold, to be innovative, and above all, to be true to oneself. His story serves as a poignant reminder of the power of creativity, the importance of individuality, and the everlasting impact of a life lived with passion. As we bid farewell, let us remember Gianni Versace not for his tragic end, but for the indelible mark he left on this world. Thank you for joining us on this journey. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Until next time, stay inspired by the legacy of Gianni Versace.